Guys, we've got a 15-10 going on, and my opponent's rated 1473, and they've started with the unusual Nimzovich Larsen attack. So this is like setting up for a Queen's side Bishop Fianchetto. There's no reason to fear it. I mean, you get this set up in a variety of ways. On the Queen side or the King side. Okay, so we have the Bishop's now come out. It's looking at our pawn. I'll probably, idea is to play d5 and then maybe also Bishop d7. Okay, he's allowed me to play d5, this is fine. So this is like the B and E pawn thing. Okay, no worries. So now my bishop comes out because what he's threatening to do is, like in the Spanish, he's threatening to take out my knight, which was the only defender of this pawn. He's playing quite quickly too, has to be said. So he can take out this knight at any time, which would leave this pawn defended only by the bishop. Now he's put a second attacker out. So this is actually, we're in kind of a Spanish structure, with the exception of this pawn is normally there and this pawn normally isn't. And he's got a bishop here, so typical issue here as well is the temptation is to push the pawn and attack the knight, but that actually hangs g7 and the rook behind it, so we've got to be a bit careful here. So how about pushing the pawn? f6 is an idea, queen e7 is an idea. I think f6 is fine. I'm not worried about the queen attack. It does get in the way of the knight, although getting queen off here takes. I think that's fine. So I'll bet my opponent wins a lot of games with winning this rook. This is why you have to take your time in the openings, especially when you get something a bit left field, and especially when your opponent plays quite quickly. So it's like he's using a blitz strategy, but in rapid. Okay, I could hit the bishop. If bishop takes my knight, I recapture. I get a spare pawn here. That seems fine. I hit the bishop. Bishop retreats. This pawn is otherwise undefended. Now, I could defend it with my bishop, but that then leaves us in a situation where the queen's defense of this pawn on e5 is blocked, and my opponent can take out the other. So I think I'm going to hit the bishop. I don't think he wants to take here, because my pawn's double defended, right? So we're fine with this thing. This pawn's fine. This pawn is currently attacked. He takes me, I take him. He takes me, I take him. Okay, I've got buggered pawns now over here, but I'm not a pawn down. And my castling privileges are still fine. I can bring out my knight and get my king to safety. This bishop's going to fly out right now and pin this knight on the queen. I have the bishop pair, my opponent does not. And he's playing way too quick. Okay, now I think he has to do this and counterattack my bishop. But if he does, I take that. Well done. You've managed to lose a game of chess in negative 9 seconds. You've got 9 seconds more on your clock than you did at the start of the game. Well then. Congratulations. There's nothing to go on there. h3 was the correct move. Bishop b5 I can see. Sorry, bishop 8. Yeah. Anyway, bloody hell. Right. Let's go Vienna then. I'm thinking he's preparing that, because To fianchetto your bishop when we've already got locked pawns on the e-file doesn't make sense. So I'm thinking this, right? Okay. Bring out the bish. Okay. Fianchetto your bishop. See if I care. Right. I actually feel like I'm playing decent chess at the minute. Okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to push f4 now. No, that was... No, Hunty. Right, I've just corrected the issue that he made for himself. Okay, anyway. We'll get the bishop back. We'll get the pawn back. Knight can come here, or even queen can come here. This is a relatively common construct. But what we do have right now is we have 2 pawns in the centre compared to 1. This is not too bad. Always got to watch out for this fella coming in here. Maybe this, maybe castles. Get the rook on the semi-open f-file. Did it. Queen out. It might be a king e7 job. Might be a king f1 e7, king e2 or king f1 job. I really want to get my knight there. Now that we have this open diagonal. Is this what he's... Hang on. I didn't realise he'd moved. He moved in 2 seconds flat. Okay. Well, that's all right then. I thought it was his go. So he could have... I think he could have done this. G3 pawn takes. Okay, this is fine. Now I can win the pawn back. I can also hit the queen, which is always a nice idea. Winning the pawn back though actually does even target that pawn straight out. So if I do this and he pushes, I can hit the queen anyway. Well, I think let's get the pawn anyway. You know, we've got decent bishop control now. We've got all our minor bits out. Whereas black, having put a queen out, is actually pinning a target on his own back, really, isn't he? A little bit. He's got quite good forget that. Okay. He's attacking my bishop, but he's missed... Oh, he's also attacking this, which comes with check. Okay, so if I take... He takes... I could just drop the bishop back. So he took out my danger knight, my Vienna knight. What about this though? No, it drops the bishop. What about this though? Yeah. See, when I'm playing well, I have this thing where I get to a point where I think I've understood the position and I think I've understood my options, and then I go back for another look and I find something else. That happens when you're playing well, or that's what happens when you play well. You find these multi-purpose moves. You find these resources. Okay, now my first instinct is castles. Okay, obviously. Get the king to safety. This is also a move. This is a move. Comes with tempo. Raise the tempo. Castles is nice. Well, okay. Then you say, well, if I attack the queen, what does she do? She can't go here, she can't go here, she can't go here. Knight covers, queen covers. Can't stay where she is, obvs. Can't go there. Can't go there because the bishop can't go there. Can't go there, can't go there. Can't get there. So I think if I go here, queen has to go back there. And I think we approve of this plan. Because what's more, we're getting the bishop off the f-file, and the f-file is going to be our action area very often. And sticking his queen in the corner. Okay, and now castles, right? Now castles. And by the way, no, it's not my younger brother. I've been for my like bi-weekly haircut, which takes years off. So I am really quite tempted now to do a pusheroo in the middle. Now, straight away that just doesn't make sense because he's got 3 eyes on it. Okay, here, right now, there's no one looking at this pawn. So I have actually got this idea, and that seems to make a load of sense for many reasons. I could even eliminate this knight. Knight takes... I'd love to get this knight into the game, but how? Behind the pawns. Ooh, 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 ooh. If this knight moves, I've got eyes on that now. But my concern is, let's say I move the knight, he just castles. Oh, but that's not good. Because I have bishop h6. His rook will be on there, here, right? His queen has to move, and he's going to lose some material. So castles, I'm not worried about castles, whatever happens. I could do like a move like this. No, I couldn't. He's got 2 pairs of eyes on it. So I actually want him to castle. Castles is good for us. But knight there doesn't work. Does this work? Does this idea? Doesn't get away with this bishop. This bishop is pinning the f-pawn. Very common idea in the Vienna. Yeah. Yeah. I know you really want a castle, don't you? Go on, I dare you. I double dare you, mother figure. See what one more time? They speak English in what? What? What a scene. Something about Samuel L. Jackson's voice. You could just listen to that guy forever. He might have figured out that castles is not on. So what's the plan then? Let's say he does something else. I'm not sure. I mean, that could be no, that's not a move. Ooh, no. Hell no. That's not a move. So bishop here is a no. He could come here. Bishop could come to obviously not here. Could come to there. Bishop here. Are we worried about this? No. Not too worried about this. You want to eliminate your bishop? That's fine. I'll take the rook. I'm going to double up. I'm going to put loads of pressure on f7. Starting to come more into my thinking that, oh, hello. Hello. What have we here? What have we here? What are you thinking? Right now, castles is actually illegal. I can come in and hit the queen. Do you see what I see, boys and girls? Criss-cross, daggers of doom. You just trapped your own queen. Opponent's name is Satanand or Satan and... let's assume it's Satanand. But mate, you've just lost. Oh man. And I know I'm rated 1471 right now, but this is why Satanand is a 1400, because this is a 1400 level mistake. Now the difference is, it's gone dark again. The difference is when I spot 1400 level mistakes, I'm a 1500 or 1600. When I don't, this is when I slip down in it. And it's all down to mental clarity. Man, mental clarity. So, I've been working on my nutrition again. A good night's sleep though last night, so 2 nights ago I was having a gout attack, and I'll talk to you about this while we're waiting for Satanand to make up his mind and finally realise the error of his ways. I had a gout attack because I've been doing this very high fat, low carb, almost carnivore diet now for almost 90 days, coming up to the end of our 90-day challenge, the Big Fat Challenge. TheBigFatChallenge.com, look it up. Basically, I figured out, now I never had gout attack until I went high fat, low carb. And the old traditional knowledge was that meat contributes to gout. This has not been upheld by any scientific research, apart from the fact that Eskimos don't get gout. Inuit don't get gout. The Finn, the Sami herders, these people, the Maasai who almost exclusively eat fat, blood and milk, they don't get gout. The idea is that you've got these things called purines, chemicals called purines that compete with uric acid for excretion via the kidneys. And if you have a high level of purines in your diet, then the uric acid can build up, causing urate crystals in the joints. It's all a bit flaky, because what happened is in the 1960s, while I have your attention, I'll entertain you with my tales of gout. In the 1960s, they came upon this thing that they call allopurinol, which, if you take it prophylactically, basically prevents gout attacks by doing something with the uric acid. Anyway, so there's this theory that because meat is high in purines, it can contribute to gout, but it doesn't cause the flares. What I think is more likely has been the reason why I only ever got gout attacks. I've had like 7 or 8 now, since I've upped my meat and fat and dropped my carbs and stuff like that, is rapid weight loss. Rapid weight loss can be an issue. Because you've got to be very careful about, because your fat cells store toxins. If you think about it, ancestrally, when we were going through ice ages, I think he's abandoned probably here, but we'll wait. Okay, going through ice ages, you'd take some toxins into your body, primarily from plants. Here's the thing: animals that eat plants evolve ways to deal with the anti-nutrients and the toxins in those plants, right? For example, you and I can't eat eucalyptus. A koala eats nothing but eucalyptus because a koala has evolved to deal with the anti-nutrients and the toxins in the eucalyptus leaves. And basically there's been an arms race for hundreds of millions of years between plants and animals. The plants don't want to be eaten and can't run away, clearly. They can't hide, they can't really fight, so what can they do? Well, they've only got chemical warfare. So they develop chemical protection in the form of anti-nutrients or toxins, and then you get certain animals that evolve ways to deal with the particular anti-nutrients and toxins in their particular plants that they want to eat, that they're able to digest. Now, human beings, and so you've got lots of things. For example, gluten is an anti-nutrient, right? It's a combination of 2 proteins that you get in certain seeds, grains. You've got oxalate is a really common one. This is really quite cutting edge right now. People are just starting to realise oxalic acid, oxalate crystals can cause all kinds of horrible things in the body. So what would happen in like the last ice age, which ended about 15,000, 12,000 years ago? We'd have had handfuls of berries in the autumn, late summer. We'd have had some nuts. If we found a load of nuts, we'd go, great, that's fantastic. Let's fill a basket with nuts and let's gorge ourselves with nuts, or let's store them for the winter to keep us through the winter. But that's only for a particular time of year. We're not eating high amounts of sugars, glucose, fructose all year round, and we're not getting the lectins and the oxalates from the nuts and from the seeds and whatever all year round. And by the way, human beings have never eaten green leaves and stalks. We are just simply not equipped to digest that kind of stuff properly and to get our nutrition that way. It's never happened, right? That we are not browsers. So you'd take in some of these toxins, you'd store them in your fat cells, your body would go, ooh, a bit too much toxin, I'm going to pack these away, we'll deal with this later. And then throughout the winter, every time you get up for the day, it's a short day, you know, have a bit of food that you've prepared, there might be a hunt, I don't know, you might find some fungi through the winter, but otherwise your body's basically in detox mode. You've stored fat thanks to maybe some grains and maybe a few handfuls of soft fruits and berries and stuff like that in the autumn, and that would help you to store fat, build up your fat reserves to help you through the winter, keep you warm and keep you nourished. Okay, but through the winter you get up, you go behind the bush, you have a wee, and that way your body then starts to expel uric acid, oxalate, etc. Okay. So he's having a really good think about this. I don't know what's going on. But the problem is, in this day and age, we've hacked it. So we don't eat in a seasonal way anymore. We have bloody... I can go into Aldi on New Year's Day and buy a punnet of strawberries that have been grown in Egypt and don't taste of anything at all. But they are also full of fructose and... various things that you can. This is the point. You can handle it in limited amounts. So you store it, you sequester it in your fat cells, and then you release it out. You pee it out, you sweat it out, whatever, through the winter, and you're absolutely fine. You're detoxified come the spring. But nowadays, you go and you get yourself you go to the cinema, you get a half gallon of soda that's packed with high fructose corn syrup. And sucrose, which is a glucose and fructose molecule joined together. So your body's completely inundated with things like fructose that you can't properly metabolize, that messes up your liver, causes non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and all kinds of horrible things. And fructose is definitely linked to gout. So anyway, we become overwhelmed. Now the problem is that then you build up all this body fat because you're in like accelerated fat storage mode all year round, because you're eating grains which are only available for a small portion of the year, and sugars which would only be available for a small portion of the year, unless you want to go fighting bees every day to try and raid their nests. Good luck with that. So we put on all this fat, and that's what the obesity epidemic, that's where it comes from, right? Because we've hacked our eating patterns. So your body is packing away toxins in those fat cells all the bloody time. So ironically, it actually becomes a problem when you start to get healthier, and you eat more ancestral food, i.e. meat, animal fat, and a few local seasonal things. Like we eat fungi, I eat some bread, I eat some potatoes, they're fried in tallow, not in vegetable oils. That stuff's toxic as hell. But the problem is if you once you start to your fat cells start to release that fat, they also release the toxins that are stored in the fat cells. And that can overwhelm the body, and that is what I think has caused the gout. So I think this weekend I twinged my ankle a little bit, and then the small amount of inflammation then attracted other inflammation in the form of maybe uric acid crystals, but also I think oxalate crystals, because my body is also trying to dump oxalates. Anyway, so there we go. That's the kind of crap we talk about on the Big Fat Challenge and the Big Fat Tribe that is launching in the next few days as well from April. Our first pilot Big Fat Challenge is drawing to an end, where we've had daily coaching calls. And now we're starting the Big Fat Tribe, which is just going to be our rolling monthly membership, where we recreate the campfire, but we do it on Zoom. Because the campfire would be where humans sit. We sit around every evening, watch the sun go down, we share our stories, we raise our concerns, our problems, our challenges in life. We celebrate our successes and stuff like that, and we get mutual support. Now, at this day and age, that our local communities have been pretty much fragmented in a lot of the modern world. So we're kind of missing a tribe. And social media doesn't really cut it. Social media, you can have thousands of friends. You can be in hundreds of groups, right? It's not the same as having a tribe where you actually know those faces that you see around the campfire and you trust those faces. We're only really wired to know about 100, maybe a bit more, 100 to 200 faces that we can actually know and actually trust. And that's how we're meant to be. That's how we're meant to feel secure and happy and confident to go out into the world and to get the resources that we need and to just enjoy living our lives. So that's what we're trying to rebuild with the Big Fat Tribe. But anyway, thanks to Satanand for giving me a little forum. And it's not even abandoned the game, so I don't know what's going on. And to tell you guys a little bit about what I'm learning about food, because we're all learning. The biggest thing I've learned about food: do not trust official government advice. You take that food pyramid and you turn it upside down. Okay, grains, sugars, all this stuff, forget it. Vegetable oil, so-called vegetable oil, don't come from vegetables. It's never seen a vegetable. They come from seeds. They're really, really high in anti-nutrients. They are basically toxic, far too high in omega-6 fatty acids, which are inflammatory. It's pure toxin for the body. Cut it out of your diet. If you do one thing, cut the seed oils out, cut out sugar as much as possible. Your body's actually very good at dealing with toxins. It's really good at dealing with environmental toxins, like sugar. Sugar's also very high in deuterium. Whole nother story, right? We haven't got time to talk about that because we've only got 1 minute 15 left on Satanand's clock. Okay, your body's really good at dealing with toxins. What it's not really good at is being in toxin storage mode, along with being in fat ass storage mode every day of the fucking year. That's not good. And then you get a problem like for me, and it can manifest in lots of different ways. You get kidney stones and stuff. When you lose that body fat, and you lose it too quickly, suddenly you find yourself in toxic overload as well, where you've been in an overload of toxin storage. Suddenly they're doing their damage on the way out as well. So you've got to manage it quite carefully. And in fact, losing too much weight too fast is not a good idea. So there you go. I don't know why opponent didn't just resign. He's letting his clock run down, but I think it was a useful case study. But that was a very poor move, a very surprising move in the end. But there you go. So if you want to know more, go to thebigfatchallenge.com. Work with me and Phil. It's absolutely brilliant. 3, 2, 1. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. In fact, Satanand wants to be friends now. Okay, mate. I always accept friend requests. There we go. Nice little build. Little build there. Okay, let's see. What did we... I had one miss. What was that? Okay, didn't like this move. There was a better move. Huh. So the best move here was... Well, this I do not understand, but that's +7. Oh, that's the point. Okay, immediately just opening up this file. So let's say knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes with check, for example. Is that still good for me? It's saying, yeah, I just dropped the bishop back. So here, so it's +7, right? So it's +7 after this. So here I should have done this. This is +7. And knight d8 is best for them, but if they'd have captured here, then it's now +8. And my best move is not to recapture. What? My best move is rook takes f7, hitting the queen. Wow. And this, guys, this is why we should analyze your games. Hitting the... Wow! Oh. Saints preserve us. No, queenie. Is that... Oh, queen can't... Whoa, wait. Queen can't go there because bishop takes. Queen can't go there because bishop takes. If queen goes there, rook takes knight and wins the queen. Queen goes there. Queen taking the rook is actually the best move. Queen goes here, takes that. Oh my lord. What a nice position that was. What? Wow. And we missed it. Thank you, Fish. Thank you for the lesson. Free lessons from the Fish. Fish is giving out free lessons, guys. Take advantage of it. Okay, let's leave it there. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.